Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Del Mar for Sunday racing on a picture-perfect afternoon in Southern California. I'm Kurt Hoover. I'll be with you throughout the day and throughout this meet as we wrap up week number 2. Joining me this afternoon is Ryan Flanders, a.k.a. Benny South Street. And Ryan, weather's been perfect. Racing's been good. A mixture of favorites, some price horses. Really good gambling these first 2 weeks, I think.
It's been outstanding, but per usual here at Del Mar, right?
Yeah, exactly. Good card today. The Eddie Reed is the feature. That's for $250,000 grade 2 event. That's race number 9. No pick 6 carrier. We start from scratch there. Let's get right to the action. In the first race, Ryan, a lot of first-time starters going 5/8.
If I'm being totally honest, this isn't my strongest opinion of the day. I went through all the pedigree, didn't see a whole lot there.
Yeah.
The one that I wanted to pick was Jules, who's drawn on the inside. That rail post going 5/8 at Del Mar for 2-year-olds, first-timers, is extremely low. I want to say it's like 1 for 50. So I did pass on Jules. I'm going to land on 2 horses who I think have the connections to get it done sprinting on dirt, and those would be the 3 Tiz Grace with Kazushi Kimura, who's a very aggressive rider. Tim Yakteen seems to be hot enough right now. This horse has 3 gate works, which I like to see, all at a half mile. So hopefully can pop, show speed with that aggressive rider, and then Darlin Duchess drawn near the outside with Edwin Maldonado, Val Brinkerhoff, who's 2 for 6 at the meet so far, which good for him, off to a great start. Typically doesn't win first time out, but again, I had a lot of negative information in this first race, so I think worth a shot here, and I believe in what I believe to be a wide open race.
Yeah, and it's $150,000 claiming tag. That's basically to keep out Bob Baffert first timer, somebody else can get a shot. I picked Rivera for Saturday. The dam was a maiden, but she's got 2 winners. The workout reports are very good on the 4. And the 5 has that all-important experience edge. Didn't run bad in the debut. Yuso rides and is 3-1 in the line. So 4-5 for me in race number 1. On to race number 2, which tips off the early pick 4 1-mile event. Non-winners twice other than. Only 4 horses go with the scratch of Ashcroft.
So I'm the founder of Trip Note Pros. I watch a lot of replays. Got over 160,000 logged in the last 5 years, which is a lot of replays. I saw something that I've never seen before on tape, and I'm curious to know if you picked up on it, because I know you watch a ton of replay as well. Number 2 to lure him in last time. I'm not going to pick this horse. I'm going to side with number 1, but I thought this is worth mentioning. Lure him in last time on the head-on. This is hilarious. Go back and watch this. June 8th at Gulfstream, race 9. Is cruising down the backstretch in front. 2 pigeons.
Wow. Perched
on the rail, went full-blown kamikaze mode, and tried to fly in front of the pack, and one of them just exploded off of Edwin Gonzalez's.
One of them met his demise.
One of them met his demise. It looked like Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson would be proud.
It was unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. One skirted through. One of them didn't make it. But that was the takeaway for Lure Him In, who got a good trip last time and did go wire-to-wire at Gulfstream. I did land on Katona last time. I thought had a negative journey overall versus a tough field. I think finds the right spot today. Been running over his head for quite some time. Broke a little bit slow in that race. Accelerated nicely into what I call exacerbated fractions, but they did dawdle in that race. So tiring wasn't a surprise. Beat a couple home, but gets a nice drop drawn inside. Hopefully he can show a little speed, because there's not a whole lot in here. Lure Him In will probably be loose and walking the dog on the front end, but I'm going to take a stand with Katona.
Tough race. I could push all in here. They're all decent horses. I know the barn I'm paying attention to. This meet I have every meet they come in the Walensky barn. They popped yesterday at 9-1. Sam, Herman, whatever, as long as it's Walensky, a very, very good barn. And Lure Him In raced here in Southern California way back when. I picked it 2-1, but I could all the race if I'm playing a pick 4 or pick 5. They're all decent horses. Third race, take out the 1 Needle Point. Got a field of 7 going 5 on the grass.
Needle Point broke my heart this morning when I saw the scratch. Go back and watch that race on May 3rd. He'll be on my horse to watch list. Dial a Friend is going to be my top pick in here. No speed signed on whatsoever. I can't find any. Horses cutting back that like to sit in stock. This horse is actually getting a little bit more ground from that 1,000-yard specialty distance over at Los Alamitos. 2 turf races, if you go back and look at those, one of those was in the Sweet Life Stakes, which this horse just ran way too fast, going 6.5. 6.5 is notably almost a miler race down that hill. Milers do very well, so a little bit too far for that one. And then the other race, which was 5/8 of a mile here sprinting at Del Mar, stalked on the outside, pressed the pace, got run over late, opened up. I think likes this distance. Will be clear, jogging, and should be a big price.
All right, I'm going to go 4-5. I thought Tamsel Angel's coming out of better races. She's faced some really good fields. I like the fact Palma puts her in for 32, one of my favorite old-school trainers. She's a fair price. And Invincible Molly for Jeff Mullins drops in for 32. Also should get a good stalking trip. So 4-5 for me in race number 3. On to the 4th. Take out the 8 Crucible. What do we do here?
I'm going to land on another horse who I think is a little bit sneaky, who has a chance to be in front. A lot of second-time starters in here. I've got a lot of excuses for these horses that have run. I'm going to land on number 4, Stanford Dropout. I wasn't smart enough to get into Stanford, but I was a dropout at one point. Stanford Dropout had a tough start last time, lost a little bit of ground, getting bumped away from the gate, and then exploded into the race. Recovered strongly from an in-between spot. Was forward, ended up fading a little bit, but was given up by this jockey and almost anchored through the stretch. So that exacerbated that running line. I see 9th by almost 19 lengths on debut. That was against Better. I'm drawing a line through that. I think this horse is faster than the others, can get loose, and we're only going 5/8 of a mile. So just like in race 3, hopefully we can do the same in race 4.
I'm going to go for price, too, after watching the replay of the 9 Essential Nation. This is the classic ship and win. Get a race into a horse without winning. Ship out here for the big purse and to ship and win money. The horse has been gelded, gets blinkers, draws outside. The runner-up in that race came back to win. The Dam was an 8-time winner for these owners, made almost $400,000. She's had 2 winners. I think it's go time today. So I'm going to pick the 9 Essential Nation on top. And I like the other ship and win horse for second, 3 Putt. Watching his race up at Emerald, pretty good debut. Hopped at the start, made a good run into the turn, and finished up nicely. The runner-up in that race came back to win a $45,000 stake at Emerald Downs. Blinkers on, same thing. Ship and win for the money. Let's go 9-5 in race number 4. On to race number 5, mile turf event. Some firsters, some horses with experience for these maidens.
So a lot of negative information here again. We got capable trainers, solid trainers that tend to give their horses a little bit of racing before they pop. I'm going to land on number 2, Sleeper Sullivan for Louis Mendez, who I thought had a sneaky difficult trip last time, was showing a little bit of speed, was looking to circle into that low sal left-hand turn. They almost go right-handed and then left-handed in that turn. It's a difficult turn to negotiate, and just as this horse was making the turn, the horse in front of this one lugged out. Somebody passed. This one got shuffled. I thought was gaining some momentum at that point of the race. Second time off of the layoff for Louis, drawn inside, should have some speed, I think, stretching out, going a route of ground. And then I'm going to move outward with number 5, Bogarts Buchero for Doug O'Neill. In fact, I think both of those Doug O'Neills have a swing. One of these eligible for the ship and win. That's my second choice, Bogarts Buchero. And then one for Lou, or rather, I think we've got 6 up on there in the teleprompter, but I do think one for Lou, the other one has got a swing. Forwardly placed. Turf, second time out, should show speed as well.
Yeah, tough race. I picked Sterling C, the firster for Phil D'Amato. Dan retired a maiden, but she has had one more to get to the races. And I'm with you on Sleeper Sullivan. This horse was entered at San Anita after coming in from Gulfstream, was going to the gate, dumped the ride, and ran off and had to be scratched. Came back a low sound. I thought ran, like you did, better than looks. I think this horse has got a look. The Dam was a stakes winner on the turf, so there's some grass pedigree. I'm going to go 1-2 inside in race number 5. All right, Ryan, it's pick 6 time. A big scratch here, the 5 East Shore. I'm guessing didn't get by the vet. We got 7 going here. How do we kick off the pick 6?
I'm going to land on number 1, Madeira Wine, if I'm pronouncing that right. Not a whole lot of speed in here. I think the other speed can sit in stock, is drawn outside. This one's just very fast. Last time went way too fast, against Better, gets a logical drop. You look at those 2 races against 25s on turf, was 40-1 in one of them, 25-1 in the other. Tired a little bit late, just got run over. Those were respectable races. Just ran over her head last time. She actually stuck around a long time despite carrying out those hot fractions down the backstretch. So Madeira Wine, the drop is logical as well. If you want to get to these 16s, you have to move to the dirt. I think that's what happened. She'll be in front. So the turf to dirt move doesn't bother me so much because she won't be taking any of that kickback. And then I moved to the outside with There's a Silver Lining. Is that right, or is it Teresa Silver Lining? There's a Silver Lining.
There's a Silver Lining.
There's a Silver Lining. That makes more sense. For Steve Knapp and Antonio Fresu, for one reason only. This horse didn't pick up her feet at all last time. Fresu rides back, going a route of ground. I mean, he had every reason to opt off of this thing. He rides back. I think this one is worth another chance at what might be an overlay.
Yeah, tricky race. I went to the 8, Old Silver for Phil D'Amato. I like the way he's managing this mare. She's 8 years old. He dropped her in for 8. There were no takers. She won for fun. He gives her 6 weeks, almost 2 months off, and bumps her up 3 levels in class. To me, that's a super confident move by a top barn. So Old Silver on top for me at a price. For second, Doreen's Wildcat. Ron Ellis is a very good trainer and to me one of the best at placing horses. And I think the drop's really going to help this horse. So Doreen's Wildcat for second. Zayarat showed a little late interest last time. I don't know if maybe he's become a pack animal, but she did show a little late interest. So I'll put that horse third. But let's make it 8-2 in race 6. Okay, on to the 7th. Take out the 11, Liquid Spirit.
I'm going to head to number 6, Sweet Gallimine. There's a lot of speed drawn to the inside here. I'm a little bit nervous that one of them is going to scoot away. We'll see how it shakes out, but all of those inside runners have speed, those being the 2, Bits Tiger Magic, number 3, Thermal, and the 5, Lovely Idaho. They all seem to need the leads. I was looking for somebody off the pace. Sweet Gallimine will likely fit that bill on the cutback. Richie Baltus, second time off of the layoff, although gets a nice freshening, sat out the Los Alamitos meet. Chased a fast pace last time, was 3 wide and pressing. Looked dead to rights at the top of the stretch. Just looked like this thing was going to fade right out of it, and then rebroke at the top of the stretch and actually came late, got beat less than a length on the finish line. So I thought that was an impressive, better than looked effort. I think if it can sit, try and move in a little bit and save some ground, could work out a good trip with those 3 faster horses to the inside. And then I moved to the outside with number 9, Can't Sleep, Antonia Fresu, Carla Gaines. This one got knocked around terribly at the start last time. Stumbled, and then, lost 3 to 4 lengths at the beginning. Likes turf, 2 for 3 over the grass. Again, there's a lot of speed in there, so that one's a logical closer as well. 6-9 in the 7th.
Good, interesting race to kick off the pick 5. I picked the favorite, Bits Tiger Magic. I think she's going to be very tough to beat. I loved her win at San Anita. Her win at Los Al, Curtis Treese, the chart car, put confident handling, the definition of confident handling. She was never asked to run the last 1/8 of a mile. I think she'll be very, very tough to beat. For a price, I thought Miss Mandalay could outrun her odds. She won over this course. She's best when she gets a waiting ride, and I think she'll get that today with Leigh Prue aboard. Barn took a shot and had her in for 50 last time. There were no takers. Now she's protected. So I picked it 2-1, but I thought Can't Sleep. I agree with you, could run well too. Carla Gaines' horses have been running very well. Not all winning, but they've been running well at big prices. So 2-1-9 for me. 8th race, this kicks off the late pick 4.
There's some money burners in here, and they're going to probably take some more money. So Margarita Girl burned money in all 4 starts, 3-5, 1-2, 7-5, 3-5 again. And then we have the Bob Baffert horse. Where am I looking here? I know there was a Bob in here that got bet. Cooey, I think, took some money last time. So I'm going to move to number 4, Naples Gal for Richard Mandel off of the layoff. Ran 5/8 on turf on debut. Was bet that day to the 2-1 favorite. Love these works. When I see Mandelas that working fast, I mean,
and Lasix and blinkers.
A lot to like here for Naples Gal. I do like Mike Smith getting aboard. He seems to ride a lot of these promising horses for Mandela. I expect improvement. First time as a 3-year-old. It's been nearly a year since that effort. So if you're looking at a Buyer's speed figure, I'm not a big guy on the speed figures, but I think it's a good barometer for how they may improve. And then number 1, That's All Right Mama for Michael McCarthy and Kazuchi Kimura. Shipped out to Kentucky Downs. Those races are just loaded with talent. A lot of money out there over the summer. Was 13-1 in 11-horse field. Took a decent amount of money. He doesn't win a whole lot first time out. So second time out, not a big fan of the rail draw, but should be a decent price on the tote board.
Yeah, I thought for pick 6 purposes, this was a spread race. I could see it going a lot of different ways, but to pick 1, 2, I picked the money burners. I picked Margarita Girl on top.
Okay.
Usha second. They both train well. Both obviously have burned a lot of money.
Usha, that's who it was.
Yeah, but I'm going to go 7-9. But again, I'm playing the pick 6. I'm probably using 4 or 5, including Naples Gal off the blinkers and Lasix angle. 9th race, our feature Eddie Reed Grade 2 event. 2 scratches out of the race. Addit Lan and Gold Phoenix are both out. Field of 6 set to go here. I personally think Ryan Formidable Man's going to be awful tough to beat. I think he's the best horse. I think he gets a great trip. He's never lost over this turf course. It's McCarthy and Rispoli. So I'm going to single Formidable Man. What about you?
He's the most logical in my opinion. I picked him on top as well. I think this is our first race where we match up with the top pick. Formidable Man on top for me. I do have Belnikov second. Formidable Man last time, slow early pace, was with the outer flow, circled, flew home, just ran out of real estate. I thought potentially was even best on that day. And Balnikov actually had a sneaky bad trip as well last time. Dawdling pace in front. You don't normally see Pratt in last or near last when they're crawling up front, but that's what happened last time. Encountered a troubled horse to the inside, got fanned wide in the second turn, and then just never found room through the stretch. Was trying to push his way into the open. Never happened. Kind of just got stuck behind. So 4-2, I think it's a chalky result. These three to the outside are going to keep each other honest in front, and I think the two most logical.
I went the same way. I went 4-2.
Yeah.
Formidable Man on top of Balnikov. We got 2 to go. 10th and 11th comprise a late double on the Sunday at Delmar. Bunch of scratches in the 10th. The 1, 5, 10, and 13 are out. Ryan, I call these evil non-winners 2 life claiming races. These are very difficult races. I have a tough time with these races. How did you see today's 10th?
You know, a lot of these horses that are coming out of the 12-5 non-2, I didn't like. I'm drawing a line through all of those. They won't be on any of my tickets. I did want to land on a horse that maybe was coming out of a winning race. There are a few that are coming out of the maiden 20s. I'm going to land on Petite Ange or Ange for Ryan Hansen.
We're going to agree 2 races in a row.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think this is potentially the right horse. I'm a little bit worried with Charmed Dream drawn to her outside, who I think could press, and hopefully they don't hook up. But if Tyler can allow this one to get away and work his way to the outside, I do think this is the best horse in the race. And Tyler Bays has been riding good.
Yes,
He's having
he
a
has.
nice mate so far.
I said the same thing yesterday, and Tyler Bays has been riding really, really well. He's been putting horse into the race. He's been getting good trips. So I'm with you. I picked Petite Ange. After that, I thought Manea had a chance. One long shot, I thought, if things fall apart, Mrazek's Old Dream. Sometimes these non-winners 2 life fall apart, especially going 6.5. She's not real fast, but she's going to be fit. Maybe she can stumble into things, but I don't have a lot of confidence in the race, but we're on the same top horse. All right, 1 to go. Now we get to the 11th to wrap up the week. This is a good gambling race. Scratch the 12 Silver Flirt. I know you and I both watch a lot of replays, and Goatsky had a tough trip and still ran very, very well. Looks like the horse to beat.
I think he's going to win. He's going to get overbet. The trip was so horrific. I actually tested Christina Blacker this morning. I said, why didn't Hector ride back? And the info that came back was, well, there might have been some logistic stuff with the travel that he was off riding by his.
Because he rode Saratoga yesterday.
So he does ride elsewhere today, which had me a little bit concerned. But Goatsky last time, I think, jumped a shadow
ducked
and
out.
then ran away from the shadow.
Yeah.
And
looked like it might be pulled up for a minute.
It did.
Right?
The horse looked like had gone wrong, and it looked like Hector was going to pull her up, got back into the race, re-engaged the field, and flew home. Did have a nice trip after that because they did travel swiftly on the front end of that day and saved ground as well. But I had this one losing 5 or 6 lengths before that happened, so was best on debut. Gets more ground today, and Rispoli rides. Hector Berrios stays in the room, so you don't have to worry about him beating you, which is a positive. But I do think Goatsky's probably going to win. I think he's going to be odds on. I think he'll be even money, maybe less. Number 5, Hello Kiddo Kid. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Hello Kiddo.
Okay, these names. So this one had another horrific trip last time. Kent was down inside. This horse became rank and keyed up. Had to steady off of heels, and then Kent had enough being down there. He let this one roll onto the backstretch. I had this pace being honest. This is an exacerbated fraction. Blinkers come off today. This one looked finished at the top of the stretch. Thought Kent was almost kind of giving up. And this one fought on through the lane, had the lead with 70, 100 yards to go, and just got run over late. So it was probably best last time. I have 4-5 in the closing race.
Yeah, I had talked to Kent Sorrell about this horse, and I'll clean up what he said a little bit. He's a tough horse to ride.
That's what it looked like.
He's a very, very difficult horse to ride. The blinkers come off. They try Hernandez, so maybe he can run better. I went against him, though. Goatsky obviously is a horse to beat. I had a couple prices I think will outrun their odds. The 9 horse, Royal Dusty for Mike Pipey. Very rough trip last time out and not a good trip in the debut. Now, maybe she's just one of those trouble-prone, difficult horses, but I love the fact Kimura stays on her. He's one of my favorite riders. He's riding well, and I think she's better than the running line's luck. And then a guy who's been on a long time. I've known John Ivory for probably 35, 40 years. He does not have many horses. This horse he's got, M Perfection, didn't run that bad. She was 103 to 1. She was finishing. She galloped out nice. There's been one next out went out of the race. So I thought at a price, maybe she could slip in there. So I had those two for prices, and then obviously Goatsky, the horse to beat. I tell you, Ryan, it's one of those cards today, the way I look at it in gamble, I'm either going to hit some home runs or I'm going to go down swinging because I like something especially late like you do.
hopefully we can bring the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's a big day.
Let's get some money for the off days. Ryan, thanks again.
Thank you. Appreciate
Ryan
it.
Flanders has been my guest here at Del Mar. Thanks to all of you for watching. Post time in 35 minutes. I'll join you in about 20 minutes to take a look at the horses for race 1.